very, very much. It's really nice to be here again. We loved playing here the last time, and it's very grateful that we've been invited back. That was a tune by Shira Sanders, who's one of the saxophone players that sprung up John Coltrane in the 60s. It's called The Journey. The next piece is one written by a flute and piano player from Maine, who was associated with the women's music movement of the 80s, and then later began doing music for healing. Her name is Kay Gardner. The song is called Prayer for Aphrodite. Thank you. Okay, that was Prayer for Aphrodite, Kay Gardner. The next one you may recognize. It was written by Tito Puente, the great Cuban band leader, but it became a real big hit when this other guy who plays guitar did it. See if you recognize it. What's the name of that one? Right, and who did it besides Tito Puente? Santana. Okay, in 1968, Paul Horn went to India, recorded a bunch of flute improvisations in the Taj Mahal using the natural echo there, which I think was 21 seconds. And he had no intent of releasing it as an album, but it got released, called Inside, and became a really important recording. Some people think the whole New Age thing in music started with that album. So we're going to do a transcription of one of the solos on that album. This one's called Agra. And back in 1968, if you wanted to have the sound of the Taj Mahal, you had to go to the Taj Mahal. And now I can do with that stuff. That album is a really important part of our development as a duo, because a couple of years ago, during the pandemic, usually I try to apply for some grant money to do concerts, and we couldn't do it then. So we got some grant money to do a video concert, where we did the entire Inside album. So if you go to see us often and stuff, you probably hear the entire album at one point. Okay, the next piece is one by Herbie Mann, from an album he did in the early 60s called Jazz Impressions of the Middle East. And back then, the feeling, and even now, that you can combine any kind of world music with jazz. So this is one called Turkish Coffee by Herbie Mann. This is one I'm going to play on bass flute. This is a Japanese tune from the 1930s called The Moon Over the Ruined Castle. And it's a really nice tune. Thank you. Sunshine Superman by Donovan, done sort of a Cuban style. Okay, the next song, if you have seen us before, you notice we're playing most everything a lot shorter than we normally play it. But the next one's the only one we'll stretch out on. Because like personal feeling, this is the most profound piece of music in our repertoire. This is a piece by John Coltrane that he wrote as a musical response to the bombing at the 125th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama in 1963. The song's called Alabama, and we'll dedicate our performance tonight to the fact that this month is Black History Month. you very much. Okay, so we have one more for you. Once again, we've really enjoyed playing with you. I'm Steve Tapper. This is Shira Moss. We have a lot more music we'd like to play for you, so I hope to see you again. This is a relatively new tune for us, but it's an old tune. This is the point where Duke Ellington, the Ventures, and Frank Zappa come together. The early days of rock and roll, there were a lot of instrumental bands, and a lot of those instrumental bands played rocked up versions of songs in the big band era. So this was a really successful song by the Ventures, featuring their drummer Mel Taylor, playing a great solo. And the record's great, but it became a thing that all the young teenagers liked, and every local band played Caravan with a drum solo. And on the first Mother's Invention album, there's a song called America Drinks and Goes Home. And there's a line in it that makes fun of lounge bands, and there's a line about playing Caravan with a drum solo. So that's what we're going to play, is Caravan with a drum solo. I haven't memorized the bridge yet. Here we go. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. On behalf of both of us, I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Coming out tonight, and please make sure you come back next month, March 4th. Tell them I'm tired. March 4th, we're going to have Far and Wide, which is an amazing quartet that plays accordion, saxophone, stand-up bass, and cajones and djembes. So it's going to be amazing. So just as good as these guys. So anyway, so thank you so much. Like us on Facebook, please. And you can post pictures, post comments. That would be really cool because, like I said, we've got the reporter. He's looking for material. So please support us because this supports live music, live performance, storytelling, poetry. We got to keep the arts alive because that's what keeps us alive. So thank you very much, everybody.